it is the Buy, Sell, Love SoCal team here. We are in Horsetown, USA. That's actually a federal trademark. The city is actually called Norco, California, and we're about 50 miles from downtown Los Angeles, but a world away.
So right now we're actually standing in the parking lot of the grocery store. Well, the horse parking lot. So yeah, there's normal paved parking for cars, but a whole section for you to tie your horse up. And you see this not just here, it's not a novelty of the grocery store, it's all up and down 6th Street. So there's 150 plus miles of horse trail here in Norco, and the city actually has an ordinance that requires all architecture to be in a traditional, rustic, or Western style so that the whole city keeps that aesthetic.
Okay, so I'm probably the least experienced in Norco. Even though I live right up the 15 freeway, I was shocked. You guys, this place is wild. I'm looking at the grocery store right now. There's a Western theme on the walls. The Taco Bell even has a Western theme. There's a wagon wheel in front of the gas station. I can't believe it. And yes, we are standing in horse poop right now in the parking lot of a grocery store that was just built within the last 5 years. I think this was built in 2019. So they are keeping the theme alive here. We have a lot to show you. Let's check it out. Okay guys, I am now walking on the horse trail. This is where in a normal city, there would be a pedestrian sidewalk here, but not in Norco. We have horse trails leading everywhere. As far as the eye can see, horse tie-ups in front of all the businesses. This place is full of fun Easter eggs. So let's get some facts out of the way. As of the 2020 census, the population was just over 23,000 people. Not too big. Maybe there's, I don't know how many horses. Maybe there's 1 horse per person. I don't know, we'd have to look into that. There's 56 active homes in the market in Norco right now. And the average price of those 56 homes is just over $1 million. But for that $1 million, you are getting just over half an acre because the average lot size is 23,000 square foot. Fun fact, the average lot size in California is actually 7,500 square foot. So that is pretty wild. You can actually come out here and get some land. Okay, now a little bit more Easter eggs. In this main drag area, the street, the actual asphalt is painted with red, white, and blue because true Americana in Horsetown. Also, Disney keeps their horses right here in Norco. They house them over at the Disney Equestrian Center, and that is where we're headed next.
All right, do you remember back a few years ago when Disney started to make way for Galaxy's Edge, that Star Wars themed land at Disneyland?
Yes, opened in 2019. We cannot forget, we all have
kids. Yeah, so when they did that, so the horses at Disneyland that you see going up and down like Main Street pulling the carriages, they used to stay on site. But the site where they were at is now Star Wars land. So they moved them out here to Norco. And it's nice because this is actually 2 acres, this ranch, bigger than the one that they had on site at Disneyland.
That's amazing. They have, what, 5.5 acres to roam around?
Yep.
Now? Well cared for horses. Now, while it's not open to the public, if you're out for a walk or strolling through Norco, you can check out the Clydesdales that perform on Main Street. As Elise said, they do actually go back and forth every single day. That's about a 45-minute drive. They perform about 3 hours.
I think their shift is 3 hours.
And then they head back here to be pampered. So it's just another cool thing that you can do here in Norco, California.
Here we are on top of a hill overlooking what is probably most of Norco. And so if we didn't already go over this, Norco actually stands for North Corona. So let's go over a little bit of geography. Off in the distance here, we have the mountains of Corona. That's actually not their name, but Corona is right below those mountains.
Just on the other side is like Irvine,
okay,
South OC.
Exactly. And so heading off in this direction is going to be the 91 freeway directly into what would be Anaheim Hills first, or Anaheim
North
and then
OC.
Yorba Linda, North OC. And then right here in the foreground, we have an amazing building, which we're going to talk about, which is the history is a little bit dabbled, right? So let's talk about back in the day in the 20s, they built it as the Lake Norconian Club. Now this was actually like a resort, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lake right through those trees.
Barely see it. It's there, but
okay.
a little hidden.
It had some pretty famous names like the Mark. What are the names that
Will
they used
Rogers,
to? Yes.
Babe Ruth. I mean, if you can think of somebody who was famous back in like
They
Depression
used to come
era,
to this club.
They were here.
Pretty cool. Okay, so then Disney actually threw a celebratory party in 1938 to celebrate the success of the movie Snow White. How fun is that?
You should Google it, because I don't think we should talk about it, because it's very family friendly here at the
PG.
Buy Sell Love SoCal team.
Yes.
But stuff a legend. Google the party, because it sounds like it was pretty wild.
Jump down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So then, unfortunately, a few years later, the club actually closed. And then what happened to it?
So the Navy actually bought the land, and the day after Pearl Harbor, they commissioned this old resort as a naval hospital, and they actually flew victims of Pearl Harbor here for treatment.
That's impressive.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that is really impressive.
So now the Navy still owns the land. Today it's the Naval Surface Warfare Center, which I think second to the school district in Norco is the largest employer here.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So there is our brief tour above the hills of Norco.
And you know what, I should mention that it's actually on the National Register of Historic Places because there is so much history. It's a pretty crazy building, and Google it because the architecture and things, you can't go in there now. It's a naval center, but
worth a search.
Worth a look. Yeah.
All right, let's go check out more Norco.
Yep.
All right, Daniel, we are standing on a 1.7-mile loop trail that heads up to Pumpkin Rock, a really cool 15-foot painted jack-o'-lantern that sits at the top of that mountain up there and has sweeping views of the city. Pretty cool little hike. It's moderately challenging, I've heard. You can do it with kids.
I've done it many times with kids, actually. It's pretty fun.
If it wasn't like 105 like it is right now.
No.
I have a toddler on my back.
Okay, so there you go. It's just not on a day like today.
Yeah.
I don't think you would survive. But right behind us is also the George Ingalls Equestrian Center. It's an 85,000 square foot arena that hosts professional rodeo events every year. It's also home of the Norco Fair every Labor Day weekend. So there's still so much more fun things for us to show you and tell you about. Let's go check out Silver Lakes.
Silver Lakes, let's go.
Here we are at the Silver Lake Sports Complex. Right in front of us is the Field House Restaurant and Bar. I've actually never been there. Have you?
Me either. You know what? It was a big deal when this whole place opened back in 2015. And like, I don't know, with COVID and everything, I just haven't had a chance to come this way.
But I've heard great things about it.
It's supposed to be great.
So this whole sports complex has 20 soccer fields, 4 LED lit synthetic fields, and even a concert arena.
Dude, the concerts that they get at this place, they do this thing called Boots in the Park. I don't know, it's every so often. They get huge country names. I want to say the last one was Blake Shelton.
Oh, wow.
Like big concerts where they do shuttles from other areas for parking and stuff. So, and not just those, I mean, they do like a weekly evening market. They do the movies in the park here every week during the summer. Lots of good community stuff.
Lots of fun for the entire family. So thank you for joining us on this quick tour, quick but fun and very informational tour of Norco, California, in case you're ever thinking of moving here.
Hey, you know what? I feel like lately the trend has been for businesses to go from California elsewhere, but if your business is in the South and you find yourself having to relocate to California,
Horsetown,
Norco's
USA.
gonna make you feel at home. So give us a call and we'll help you move here.